Alright, time for today's game. We're going Targaryen Kings of Winter again. Our opponent is apparently Martell, Red Door, Starfall. That could be annoying. This guy asked if I ever sleep. I don't understand why he's asking that. I mean, yeah, I do. Slept for like 8 hours just now. Yeah, I guess I keep this. Guess I'm gonna have to fix this setup manually. So 1. This seems correct. I think this is 6 cards. Right? 2, 3, 4, 6. Yeah, this is 6 cards. Okay, and then draw 6. I was trying to type in the chat and I hit enter. I guess I didn't even know that you could actually hit the enter key, and if you're not typing in chat, it'll hit like pass on your action window here. Well, he's got his Dornish fiefdom, so he can go first. Got a lot of good stuff already. Got 3 economy, got the flea bottom. Just do naval on my winter reserves. Well, it is a kingdom plot. Herp derp, you got me. But I'm starting with 1, 2, 3, 4 effective economy effects in play, so he's starting with 2 and 2 gold. Theoretically, that makes us kind of even, I guess. I will say that I was literally playing online right before I went to bed. A lot of times I'll get some games in before I go to sleep. Is like the last thing I do of the night. And I usually do one of these videos, like sort of one of the first things I do when I wake up, like drink my coffee and record a game. Shadow City bastard, that's annoying. But there's no flea bottom, so it's not too bad. It's only really frustrating if he gets flea bottom with it. Definitely not happy that he actually ran friggin' naval superiority on my winter reserves. Come on, dude. Could have marshaled Daenerys this turn, probably. That just feels bad. Alright, what do I do here? Barristan sell me? It's like Barristan or Second Sons and Drogon. And Second Sons and Drogon gets me more icons. Do I actually have enough gold for that? I think I'm off by 1. Yeah, I can't marshal them both. Well, shoot. Well, I want the Second Sons in my discard, but they can be discarded for reserve. How about I do this? I don't know that this is most efficient, but it does actually sort of spend all our gold. We'll put Aegon in shadows for like next turn. So I guess what he does is just, Starfall on Drogon, and then other than that, I'm not sure. I guess he could do an attack with the Shadow City Bastard. Probably won't defend it if he does Intrigue, because I'm 1 over reserve. Although I do want to discard the Second Sons to my reserve. And if he does Intrigue and puts me at 5, then unless he gets the Second Sons for his Intrigue claim, I may not be able to do that. Come on, dude, do something. Doesn't even declare a challenge. That seems like a bit of a misplay, but sure. I mean, he should have at least declared a chump challenge with it first, in my opinion. But he took all my icons, so I guess I'm passing. Oh, I forgot I have this, so don't have to worry about flea bottom bullshit. One nice thing about playing Targ, you do have one of the best flea bottom counters. Now I wonder, basically this matchup is like, when is he going to play a reset? He might be playing first Snow of Winter, which would actually be pretty annoying here. We'll see what happens. I do have his Dar to Marshall and then have him discard Missandei to put her back into play. That would be, I think, a pretty good sort of counterplay to a first Snow. But once I start dropping my big characters, he's probably going to do like, I mean, Dohaeris at least is guaranteed, right? And he might also have Valar Morghulis. So I will be going for a duplicated Daenerys at some point to try to prevent Valar Morghulis from being a total board wipe. Let's see. Don't think I want to use Nothing Burns on a Summersea port because the anti-flea bottom tech from the Myronese market actually matters in this matchup. So let's just do False Spring. Trading with the Pintoshi. I basically always pick him first just because he has a Dornish fiefdom. Martell usually doesn't like going first anyways, but when you have a Dornish fiefdom, then that sort of guarantees it. Well, these are some interesting cards. Don't know that I'm scared of To the Spears, but he has two of this card anyways. Serve, Obey, Protect. Let's go with To the Spears. That's at least guaranteed to let him have like one pretty powerful use at some point later on in the game. I'm not sure what Serve, Obey, Protect is really ever going to do for him. I don't even remember how that card works. You like return one character to your hand to put Arianne into play or something? Guess we'll find out. So now we have a Nothing Burns set up with our second copy of Flea Bottom. That's handy. Got the duplicate of his Dar, so... Oh, I'm still in draw phase. We're definitely going to marshal the duplicated his Dar, basically. And try to have him just sit there and never go away for the rest of the game. He'll do a lot of work. Well, those are two characters I didn't really want to see. Beguiled on Missandei. Another Beguiled on Missandei. Well, I'm certainly happy to have those on my 2-cost character instead of my 6 or 7-cost characters. Or like Barristan Selmy, that'd be pretty bad as well. Shoot, what do I do now? I don't actually think I want to marshal anything else out of my hand because of Valar Dohaeris. I'd kind of be playing into that if I marshal anything else. Maybe I can lose the Fire and Blood to marshal Barristan and then hold back on Daenerys. I guess I do want to get more icons out. Let's do it. Not really sure if this is correct. Actually, I didn't even have to discard that. I had so much gold. I don't think I needed to do that, but it's fine. We just did it. Barristan's not online, but it's not really a big deal. The opponent's board is not really large enough that we need his ability, I don't think. So next turn is probably Nothing Burns Like the Cold will be my plot, because I have my extra Flea Bottom, and it'll get rid of both an attachment and a location on his side. And his Dar is duplicated, so he should be able to stick around for whenever I eventually feel like using the King in the North. don't think it's urgent that I need to do that next turn. But if I wait a turn on nothing burns, then something might happen and it might not be as appealing as it is right now. I would assume he's going to take all my military icons. Probably going to be his play here, but the problem is I still have Aegon and a Second Sons in Flea Bottom, so we are Targ, and we barf out a ton of stuff onto the board really fast, and that means we can potentially just run over this icon removal deck with simply too wide of a board and too many characters to hit all of them with the icon removal. So he let Drogon keep the military icon. And his Obara, whatever this girl is, she is not strong enough to defend. I mean, he does have a claim soak, but I don't know. I think my board is too wide for him to really deal with, even with already having the amounts of removal that he has. I think it's just not enough. Also, whenever Aegon comes out, he can put Daario Naharis into play and take this claim soak. That'll be pretty bad for the opponent. I guess I did need to discount Barristan sell me by 3. If I did not do that, I'd have 3 gold right now, which would not be enough for Aegon and Flea Bottom. He's immediately using this ability. That's interesting. Doesn't seem very efficient. I mean, your first player, at least kneel her for a challenge first. Okay, so there's the last military icon gone. I do want to defend this, but I would have to use, what is that guy's name? I'd have to use my Daario from Aegon to defend it. I don't really want to do that because I want to attack with Daario and take this guy for military claim. So I guess we're just going to let him have it. Yeah, Daenerys having a duplicate might not be that big of a deal in this matchup, because we're probably never playing her until we see his reset anyways. And at that point, it's like, who cares? Definitely don't feel any need to defend this. I have way too much claim soak. I could even, like, kill Missandei to get rid of these, but I actually don't want her dead. She can come back with First Snow when I play that, so. And one of those is getting discarded next turn when nothing burns, and then she'll be able to have an icon again. I'm going to just go ahead and put his Maiden of Poisons on the bottom of his deck, because that is a Flea Bottom target if he draws it. Do that while I'm remembering it. So I think we do a power with Barristan because his ability is now in effect after the Intrigue claim. I have to keep in mind he does have that serve, obey, protect thing, so maybe he's going to use that here. I actually think I've done this in the wrong order because that event actually requires you to lose a challenge as the defending player before you can play it. So I probably should have done military with Daario as my first challenge to guarantee that no shenanigans can mess that up. But I think the 3 cards in his hand are Obara Sand and 2 copies of Serve, Obey, Protect. And I don't think that there's any way he can use that combination to, like, screw me over here or prevent me from winning my challenges. This way I will get the 3 challenges, don't even need to use my Flea Bottom guy. I guess this is his action window for the event. I suppose it's a reaction to a challenge being initiated against you. That would be my guess. But I literally don't think that event would do any good for him right now. Like, he could put in Obara to chump block the challenge. What good does that really do? So yeah, it is after a challenge is initiated against you, return a character to your hand and to put one with 5 or lower in. So here the problem for him is the timing on this event requires the challenge to be initiated before he can use it. If you could just like do this as an action, then he could have returned the Dornish Spy earlier after Daario came out and then used Obara's ability, because I think her ability resets after she's gone back to the hand, and used her again to put the Dornish Spy back in and take Dario's military. But thanks to the fact that this can only happen after my challenge has been initiated, it is now too late for him to take Dario's icon. So yeah, it does reset her ability, and I guess he can take my other intrigue icon here. Yep. That's fine. He only has 2 cards in his hand anyways, and one of them is another copy of this event. So I believe he really needs to play a reset next turn. Not sure what it's going to be, but I suppose we'll find out. If I was playing a normal deck, I'd flip trade routes, and I'd be like guaranteed in good shape to reflood, but probably just nothing burns instead. Yeah, Morghulis. Yeah, he's still gonna go first. So it's good to do this on his Morghulis turn, I suppose. Takes off in economy when he's already gonna have like no gold. So sort of with his Dar guarantees that I'm gonna keep a board advantage, a pretty big one. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Do I play Daenerys now? Whatever big character I play is going to get hit with Dohaeris, but it's pretty inefficient to not play one. So let's go for Khal Drogo, maybe. And then... I guess I'll do this. This way I can keep the Viserion when he plays Dohaeris. Pretty inefficient to discard that Daario, who I probably could have paid for at some point, but I mean, I can just like put him on the bottom of my deck or something. Maybe I can get him back with my second copy of Aegon. Oh, Aegon's dead. Okay, well, no. Probably never going to get him back. Who cares? Not sure that our opponent has much of a chance in the game at this point. I guess I could have done 3 challenges. I guess I still can if I get the second Sons. Since I have the 2 militaries off Khal Drogo, I can collect more unopposed power. My next plot, if I want to be mean, could be the King in the North, but it'll probably be Ranger's Cache. because I also could get some use out of drawing cards, and I just don't think I need to play the King in the North. I think I'm pretty safe without it. Go ahead and put Dario on the bottom, I guess. Don't think it ever matters. I'm not sure if he should even play Dohaeris here, but I won't be surprised if that's what he tries to do. Will not surprise me. Varys' riddle, I guess he was expecting counting coppers. That is one advantage of Ranger's Cash. It is a draw plat that your opponent cannot take with Varys' riddle. I guess Rhaegal and Daenerys, but again, I'm just not going to marshal the Daenerys. I'm not convinced that he's not going to play Valar Dohaeris at some point in this game. Like, he's a Martell icon deck and he doesn't have Valar Dohaeris. I just don't believe that. And I don't want to play 2 6s and a 7 into that plot. There's his Flea Bottom. Completely disabled by the Myronese market. Play the world's smallest violin for Martell over there. Got his Arianne, and he has the Obara. So he can potentially have 3 different characters in play to do 3 different challenges. I guess I'll go ahead and Flea Bottom. But I still don't know if it's enough for him to do very much. I guess let's Intrigue here. And this game does kind of show, in my opinion, why Martell has fallen off. Let's get that out. The sort of Martell control decks, they just can't keep up with this board flood ability from Targaryen. You can just overwhelm them, and there's no way that they can actually get enough control effects to manage all of this. Because this is even after Valar Morghulis. Like, look how much junk I have. It's pretty ridiculous. This is why Martell has fallen off. Also, the King in the North just nukes Martell so hard, and there's very little they can do about it. I mean, what are they going to do? Run King at the Wall? Not King at the Wall. What is that frickin' Wildling King called? King Beyond the Wall. That's it. King at the Wall is the Baratheon King attachment. Myronese market and the prevalence of Targaryen also hurts Martell quite a bit because, as we saw in this game, it turns off their Flea Bottom. And I think Martell is probably the faction that needs their Flea Bottom the most. Stark might be a close second, but Stark has builds like Crossing where you don't really care that much about having Flea Bottom. You really only need the Flea Bottom super badly if you're doing like sacrifice stuff. But Martell just always super duper really wants to have Flea Bottom. And turning that off just hurts them so much. So he will be able to defend this military. Sorry I had a reaction window open. I don't really care. I don't even really care about the military claim at this point. It's just about, like, getting enough unopposed power to win. Should be able to win dominance this turn. I think I'm going to be 1 off. I think I'm going to be at 14. Unless my second military challenge is also defended. There goes one of my 2 military icons. Maybe he has something here to save the Obara. Oh, I think I see how this works. This is actually kind of a cool combo. And now she can put Obara back into play to defend again. That's kind of cool, right? That's a fun combo. I kind of even feel bad for him that he's like actually doing something sort of cool like that. And like resetting the Obara to use the Dornish Spy twice. That was cool. But he's just going to get run over by Targ junk, even though he's doing that. Does manage to stall the game for another turn. I will not be able to win yet. Maybe next turn. Shoot, what do I even play here? I guess it's time for the King in the North. I mean, if I'm playing optimally, this is probably the best turn to reveal it. I'm just going to do Forced March, because I don't like... The King in the North just feels bad. I'm so far ahead, I don't feel like I need to do that. The Spider's Web, what the hell? Why is that in his plot deck? That's pretty bizarre. I think it's a bit too late for this effect to matter. I guess I can kind of see the reasoning on this, because if you can actually use the ability and then, like, you know, clear out their hand and then flip a reset, maybe that's good. But resets just aren't good enough in the game as it stands currently because Greyjoy. You cannot count on Valar Morghulis to save you. She's back again, and that'll probably be it for him. If I discount Daenerys, she only costs 2. We still have plenty of money. I'm just going to marshal her because I think there's like no way that I'm not going to win this turn. So I'll just play everything. I'll get another free power off of Viserys' ability in Dominance phase. Already at 13. Yeah, not nearly enough, I agree. This guy stuck it out to the last turn. I gotta give it to him. Yep, that is the game. That felt kind of one-sided, but that guy actually stuck the game all the way out and like had a good attitude and everything. And I'm feeling a bit too lazy to try and record again, so I'm just going to go ahead and show this one. I mean, I still got to show the deck doing its bullshit Targaryen stuff, right? So I kind of got to show what I'm here to show. Maybe the third game with Targ Winter will be a more close game. Maybe it'll be like a mirror match or something. The Targ mirror match can be interesting sometimes, but then sometimes it's like my opponent lays down that damn 6-cost Drogon, and he's in a position to kill my Hizdar with it, and I'm like, well, I guess you won this one, buddy. Not much I can do about that. Anyways, that's the game for today.